discussions on different divine qualities that are described in Bhagavad-gītā in first three verses of 16th chapter, which is dedicated more or less to demonic qualities. But in first three verses, Krishna explains the divine. So today we will discuss achapalam, or determination. But before we start, we will say some prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devin Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiret Nashta Preshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloki Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Namom Vishnupada Krishna Prashtabhutade Shrimati Radhana Swaminiti Namine Namom Vishnupada Krishna Prashtabhutade Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shannavade Prashtatare Shatarine. Hare Krishna again. So, as we said, we continue our discussion on these divine qualities from Bhagavad-gītā, 16th chapter. And today we will discuss achapalam. This is the last item, the last quality from the second chapter, which goes ahimsa satyam akrudas tyaga kshanti rapeshanam dayabhuteshwar luluptam mardavam krir achapalam. Yes, achapalam means determination. Chapala means not steady, and usually this word is used for the prostitute who is chapala, who is not faithful to her husband. And also the mind is described as chapalam, wavering here and there, which is not stable, not and chanchala also. But here this word is used in negative form, achapalam. That means the opposite of being non-steady. That means to be very determined and steady in your determination. And as we know from Rupa Goswami, from Upadeshamrita, he explains in the beginning of Upadeshamrita, or Nectar of Instruction, what are the necessary qualities for those who try to advance in spiritual consciousness to acquire. And first he explains how a devotee or sadhaka, one who practices devotional service, should avoid different urges of the body, such as lust or anger, or the urges of the belly. Yes. And of course this should be practiced, and he should take shelter of those who are perfect in this regard. Then he explains what are the detrimental qualities for devotional service, and in third verse he explains what is beneficial for devotional service, what qualities are beneficial for devotional service. And he says utsaha nishchaya dharyat tat karma pravartanat sangatyaga satovrite shadbir bhakti prasidati. And he says, as we said in this verse, utsaha means enthusiasm, utsaha nishcha means great faith, and dharyat means determination, actually. So this is another word for the same thing, to be determined and to be perseverant on the path of devotional service. This is very important because we can be as Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that we can be falsely enthusiastic. Yes. Utsahamayi. Utsaha is enthusiasm, and Utsahamayi is false enthusiasm. And this is very common in the beginning, as Vishwanath Chakravarti explains. But this enthusiasm is not very long lasting. And so, as we know from 17th chapter of Bhagavad-gītā, it's based on basically on Rajaguna, or passion. And for passion, it is characteristic that it's based on desire to achieve some goal by which we can become happy, which we can enjoy. Yes. And for such endeavor, it is characteristic that is not very long lasting. So we do something with great enthusiasm to achieve some personal benefit to enjoy, but because the goal is not attained very quickly, we give up and we search for another type of excitement or enjoyment. So it's very important for the sadhaka, or one who wants to progress in devotional service, to be extremely determined. And it's explained that the determination of Raghunath Das Goswami was like this line in stones that cannot be erased by anything. Yes. So our determination should be like this, that nothing can remove it from our heart. And even if we are not strong enough to follow perfectly the path of devotional service, it is explained by Krishna in 11th canto, Srimadbhagavatam, still we should keep this determination and we should never give up devotional service. In one of the verses, Krishna says, Jato Shradha Matkatasu Nirvinak Sarva Karmasu Veda Dukhatmakam Kaman Parityagi Priyanishvara Tato Bhajetamam Pritak Shadal Urdidanishcha Jushamana Kaman Dukkodarkam Shagarhan. That even if a devotee who is not very strong in his vows and in his devotional service, and who have acquired faith in Krishna Katha, is not able to control his senses, although he knows that all sense enjoyment leads to misery. He should nevertheless worship Krishna with all his heart, with great enthusiasm and happiness. So he should be happy, even though he is weak. He should be happy and proceed in devotional service, even though he may sometimes fall down from his vows, and but he should be determined to continue. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains in this regard that such a devotee thinks like this: even if Brahma comes and orders me to stop devotional service, I will not stop. Yes. So, and for example, Narottam Das Thakur is explaining that even though I'm aparadi, that means I'm committing different kinds of offenses, still, oh Krishna, you're my only shelter. And please keep me in your shelter, even though I'm aparadi. I'm an offender. So I have no one other to turn to than you. So this should be our determination, that Krishna is our only shelter, that no one can give us shelter other than Krishna. Yes. And so we have so many different examples of determination in Shastra. One of the most famous determination is shown by Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj was a little boy, 5 years old, who was a son of King Uttanapada. Uttanapada was a son of Manu, I believe, uh, so one great king, or we can say emperor of the whole universe. And he had two wives, Suniti and Suruchi. Suniti was his very chaste wife, who stick to the principles of religion. And Suruchi was his favorite wife, and Suruchi means taste. He tasted great sense enjoyment with her. But Suniti means that she's devoted to niti, or to moral principles. She was not very much liked by the king, as it is the case in our life of most people in this world. They don't like moral codes, moral principles, but they like sense enjoyment much more. So he had these two, we can say, these two inclinations to enjoy, which he embraced very much, and inclination to be moral, to follow moral principles, uh, which he didn't like. And the son, or the fruit of moral principles, he didn't like so much as the other son. And in fact, this mother, the stepmother, Suruchi, she couldn't tolerate that Dhruva, or son of Suniti, would sit on the lap of his father. So when Dhruva Maharaj wanted to climb to the lap of his father, Uttanapada, Suruchi became extremely agitated, and she chastised Prahlad, Dhruva Maharaj, with extremely harsh words. And as we see from the fourth verse of 16th chapter of Bhagavad-gītā, Dambodarapo Vimanascha Krodam Parusham Evacha Agyanam Chabijatasya Partha Sampadam Asurim. This harshness is one of the of demoniac qualities. Yes. So this Suruchi, or inclination to sense enjoyment, will definitely push us towards demoniac qualities. Yes, because sense enjoyment is against our Krishna consciousness. It's simple as that. It's against our Krishna consciousness, and it's envious. One who is inclined to sense enjoyment, he's extremely envious. He cannot tolerate that anyone else is enjoying. Yes, because it is explained in Shastra that for a sense enjoyer, there is not enough of resources in this world for his enjoyment. Not enough women, not enough food, good food, not enough of money or anything. There is nothing available in amounts that we would like if we are sense enjoyers. So sense enjoyers are extremely envious people. So we can test our heart if there is any trace of envy, or any trace of some grudge in our heart, or this or if we dislike someone, This is a sign that there is certainly some envy in our heart. So if we are envious, that means that we are definitely sense enjoyers. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya said, Trinada Pisunichana Turori Vasa Krishna, Amanina Mana Dina Kirtanayak Sadahari. Kirtanayak Sadahari, or to be always connected with Krishna and to always glorify Krishna. With always glorifying Krishna doesn't mean that we just chant 24 hours a day, which of course is very beneficial. But even if we don't chant 24 hours a day, Kirtanya means to glorify, to glorify. And we should glorify Krishna 24 hours a day. And this glorification is not just with our words, but also with our heart, which is most important. And this glorification means to appreciate also, to appreciate other living entities. Yes, not just other human beings, all different kinds of animals also, and insects and so on. So this appreciation is also glorification. Yes, but if there is a trace of envy in our heart, it's not possible to appreciate everyone, especially someone who acts against our sense gratificatory will, because we want to satisfy our senses in certain way, and we cannot because of other living entities. And of course, as we know, adibautika means to suffer different things from other living entities. That means that we don't like certain other living entities because we suffer because of them. Our body is suffering because of them. And as soon as we identify with our body, we hate them. We hate other living entities, especially those who cause us suffering. And therefore we try to destroy them. Yes. And this is, of course, envy. Envy and hatred are very intimately connected. Yes. So this achapalam, to be extremely determined, is possible only if it is free from passion. And we can be free from passion only if we are devotees. Yes, if we are fixed in devotional service. Nashta, there is a verse in second chapter of first canto of Srimadbhagavatam, which explains Nashta prayeshva bhadashu nityam bhagavata-seva bhagavati-uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By service to great souls and regularly relishing Krishna Katha, Bhagavata-seva, our impurities in the heart are cleansed. And even before this happens, even before the heart is completely cleaned, our bhakti becomes stable, naishtiki. And naishtiki, of course, is a sign of being achapalam, very determined. Nothing can disturb it. And then tada means then. Tada rajastamo bhavaka kama lobha. Then we can overcome kama and lobha, or this passion and ignorance. Tada rajastamo bhavaka kama lobha dayashe chetar eta anavidam stitam satve prasidati. And we can become stable in sattva, in pure sattva, of course. Yes. So, if you want to achieve anything in this world, we should become strict in devotional service. And this is also explained in second canto of Srimadbhagavatam. Akamak sarva kamava moksha kamodaridihi tivrena bhakti yogena yajita purusham param. There is said that even if we are akama, or without any material desire, or sarvakama, we have all types of material desires, or moksha kama, even if we want liberation, if we have any trace of intelligence, we should engage full-heartedly in intense devotional service. Tivrena bhakti yogena. Tivra means intense, yes, with all our heart. And we started with this narration of Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva then, of course, when he was rebuked by his stepmother, he went crying to his mother, because he was a small boy, 5 years old, and he was explaining to his mother how his stepmother Suruchi insulted him, because she said that that he cannot sit in his father's lap, and if he wants at all to sit any time in his father's lap, he should be born from her womb. Which of course means you should die first and then be born from me, and then you can sit on your father's lap. And in order to achieve this, you should worship God. Which is interesting. Even though we are envious, we can still think that we are pious, that we are dedicated to the Lord, as Suruchi was apparently dedicated to the Lord, but of course she put herself in the center. And although Dhruva, as we can see, so he wanted revenge, and he went to to his mother, and he asked her for advice, what's proper to do in this situation. And his mother said that what Suruchi told him is true, and that he shouldn't be revengeful towards her. This is not very beneficial for a living entity to be revengeful. So we should be actually very tolerant and forgiving. Yes, and we will explain this forgiveness in one of next classes. Um, these are also one of the qualities explained by Krishna in these 3 verses of 16th chapter. So it's also very important to acquire. And as we said, we should acquire these qualities as part of our devotional service, as a quality of our devotional service, not to strive for them on just for their sake. So, and his mother Suniti said to Dhruva that he should go and worship the Lord as instructed by stepmother Suruchi. And he said, but where can I find the Lord? How can I find the Lord to achieve my goal? And she said that great sages say that Lord is found in the forest. So Dhruva, who was a very little boy, he went to the forest. And forest, of course, is ferocious place. At least at this time, was very ferocious, because many ferocious beasts were living in the forest. Yes. So, and also other dangerous creatures like scorpions or serpents and different creatures like this. And of course, to go to the forest is very terrifying, especially for a small boy. But he was extremely determined, as we can we want to acquire this quality. We hear about this quality from Bhagavad-gītā, to be achapalam, and he was achapalam, and he was determined to find the Lord in the forest. And usually small children, they may be feeling insulted, and they go to the forest or somewhere um, to take revenge on their parents or whomever, if they were insulted by someone. But they quickly become pacified and afraid, being alone somewhere. I live in the countryside, so my children, especially my daughter, she went to the forest sometime if she felt hurt. Yes. But she became frightened in the forest and came back home. But Dhruva didn't, although he was a very small boy. And so Krishna sent Narada to test the determination of Dhruva. And Narada, of course, we know he's a pure devotee of the Lord, and he tested the determination of Dhruva, and he asked Dhruva Maharaj, what is the purpose that you are going to the forest? And he said that he wants to achieve the kingdom greater than his great-grandfather, who was Brahma himself. Yes. And he wanted bigger kingdom than his great-grandfather, than Brahma, which is, of course, very ambitious desire. He wants greater kingdom than the whole universe, because Brahma is the creator of this universe and the lord of it. So yes, this was his desire. And then Narada tried to pacify Dhruva, and he said, "You're a small boy. You shouldn't take these words of your stepmother so seriously. You should go home and play. This is suitable for small boys. This forest is very dangerous place, and I don't recommend you to stay alone in this forest, which is full of different dangerous animals like tigers and wolves and lions and leopards and snakes and boars and so many different dangerous animals that can destroy you in the moment. So please go home and be pacified." And but Dhruva asked him, can you help me find Krishna? Can you help me find God? Because my mother said that God stays in the forest, so I would like to find God. And if you cannot, then leave me alone. I will try to find it on my own. So when Narada saw great determination of Dhruva, he gave him, he prescribed a certain path for Dhruva, certain part of meditation. He gave him a mantra, yes, Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevaya, by which we began this class. And he gave him also, he instructed him also to form a deity, and that he should go to Vrindavan and form a deity and worship the Lord there. So he went to Vrindavan, he worshipped the deity, he chanted his mantra, and he followed the instruction of his guru with great determination. And although he was Sarvakama, as we explained before, his heart was full of material desires, and with these material desires he turned to Krishna. So his faith was materially contaminated, and his devotional service also was materially contaminated. He didn't serve Krishna ahaitaki, or without any motive, any personal for personal benefit, for material benefit. He worshipped Krishna uh, wholeheartedly, with full of material desires, for kingdom greater than his great grandfather. And although he had such strong material desire, he worshipped Krishna with extreme determination. His bhakti was tivra. And this is the point which is most important to understand. Although we may have extreme material desires like Dhruva, we can say this, that this was extreme material desires, but it wasn't a sinful desire. It was not desired against the principles of devotional service. To have a kingdom is not sinful by itself. But if we pray to kill someone, of course this is sinful. Or to be engaged in some sinful sense enjoyment is also sinful. So this is also instructive, that we should give up sinful desires. For example, to enjoy with some married wife, or anything like this. Yes, these are sinful desires. And or if we are married, that that we should enjoy some with some other women other than our wives is also sinful. Yes, and even not proper enjoyment with our own wife is also sinful. Yes, so if we pray to Krishna for sinful things, this is not very good. Yes, so we should, even if we are full of material desires, we should pray to Krishna for those material desires that are not sinful. But most important factor is that our bhakti should be tivra. That means intense devotional service. Yes, by intense devotional service, like Dhruva Maharaj, who was engaged in extreme forms of meditation and austerities, he, by his determination, he invoked Krishna to come to him. And then Krishna blessed him with, he asked actually for what benefit he would like to have from him. He realized that he wanted before some broken pieces of glass, and he achieved the rarest diamond, and rarest diamond is Krishna, of course, and rarest diamond is love for Krishna, and he wanted then only this rarest jewel of love for Krishna. He realized that his material desires are simply disturbance in his path of devotional service. So he immediately gave them up. So Tivra Bhakti will help us crystallize, to filter our heart, to remove our impurities. Even if we engage with strong desire for something and we pray for it, Krishna will help us, and this bhakti, our Tivra Bhakti, will help us to remove all impurities from our heart. And then we will realize that these material desires that we prayed for are ridiculous, that they are just sources of misery, as Krishna says in the 11th canto. Yes, Veda dukkhatmakam kaman, that kama, or all sense enjoyment, leads to misery. Veda dukkhatmakam kaman. Yes. So this determination in devotional service will help us to understand what is beneficial for us and what's not. And this is most important factor that we should understand. What is beneficial for me and what is not. By this determination only, we can engage every day in fixed devotional service. If we are not determined, then some disturbance will come and we will not be able to focus on our goal. And our goal is to connect with Krishna, even if we have many material desires. And this means that I put my every endeavor on my spiritual path, on my connection with Krishna. So determination is the sign of understanding that something is most beneficial and nothing can replace this in my life. So I can be determined only if I have strong faith in my path. Yes. If I'm not determined, this is a sign that I'm not fully convinced that something is very beneficial for me. Then my other obligations will take over, because it's usual in life that we have many different obligations. We have so many different tasks to perform and other things. And so we believe that this is my priority, that I have to perform this, and then I'll have some free time to enjoy. And this enjoyment is actually the goal of every living entity. But foolish living entity cannot understand that this sense enjoyment is hellish, actually. The sense enjoyment is hellish. Every sense enjoyment leads to misery, actually. Yes. Even if you are fond of too much prasad, it's leading towards suffering. So mentality is childish, actually not beneficial for my life. If I love prasadam too much, or I should love prasadam unlimitedly, but I should know how much is beneficial for my body, which is Krishna's property. So I should take good care of Krishna's property and not overeat, for example, and not engage in sex life unnecessarily. Of course, necessary sex life is to procreate Krishna conscious children. Yes, all other sex engagement is unnecessary, and unnecessary sex engagement. Yes, not just unnecessary, but against our benefit, we can say. Yes, our benefit is to be perfectly happy, not just few moments happy. But this happens with sense enjoyment, that we can be momentarily happy and then suffer. And we can see the couples are fighting all the time, and then they try to get some relief from their fighting, and they engage in sex life to find some, at least some juice in the relationship, and then continue fighting again shortly after sex. Yes, this is usual scenario in modern world. Yes, so one who is a devotee knows what is beneficial for me and what is not. and these principles of devotional service are beneficial for me, and those who are against these principles are against my purpose. Yes, and purpose is of course to be perfectly happy. Yes, there is no other purpose in this world, and perfectly happy can be we can attain this state only in perfect love. There is no happiness without love. If you don't love anyone in this world, everything is useless. Everything, um, nothing can give us any satisfaction. We cannot taste any real enjoyment even if you don't love anyone. And no one loves us, the life is also useless. Yes, we can't be happy if no one loves us. So only happiness actually comes from love, and love is a sign of relationship. There is no love if there is no relationship. Yes, so love is possible only in relationship, and whatever we call love in this world is just karma, mutual exploitation. Mutual exploitation. Yes, even the relationship with small child and his mother is in this world, although it's most pure, we can say, in this world, but still there are some expectations from one another. Especially child expects very much from his mother. And mother also has different expectations from different expectations from her child. Yes, so this is not pure form of love, but we can be perfectly happy only if we have perfect unconditional love. And this is explained by Sutta Goswami in the beginning of Srimadbhagavatam. Svaypumsam paro dharmo yatho bhakti-yoga ahaitaki apratihata atma suprasidati. Atma can become suprasidati, or ourself become suprasidati, perfectly happy, only if engaged in unalloyed devotional service, unmotivated and uninterrupted. So our love should be constant without any interruption, and not even for a moment. Yes, if we want to be happy at all. Yes, but this can be we can achieve this state of happiness only with tivra bhakti, intense devotional service, intense practice of devotional service. Yes, otherwise it's impossible to achieve the state of unalloyed love. Yes. So achapalam, or this determination, is also one of the most important qualities of a devotee. Yes. um, to embark this path of pure devotional service, of unalloyed love towards Adokshaja, the Lord who is beyond our sense perception. Yes. Okay, thank you very much for your attention. I hope we will see each other tomorrow at the same time, at the same place. And then in 5 days, I'll be in Czech Republic, so I will upload my lectures from there. Okay, thank you very much for your attention, and Hare Krishna.